All right, good morning and welcome back to our channel, Prince's Seat. Thank the Lord for bringing us to the dawn of another morning, the 20th of October, 2025. A beautiful Monday morning. And yesterday night we had a good news on the communication of the deadline towards disbursement, and knowing that for years a lot of people have endured countless disappointments in this ecosystem. There were moments when people seemed to be fading in hope, when expectations were crushed under the weight of the new delays, shifting of dates, and confusing updates. Yet, through all of the turbulence, faith remained our anchor. And today, that endurance seems to have finally met its reward. The long-awaited meeting ended in our favor. The disbursement date has been fixed, and glory be to God who never fails us. So this is the turning point that we have all been waiting for. The journey to this moment has not been easy at all. It has been a test of our resolve, a test of our faith, our unity, and our patience. And every storm that we have faced was not meant to destroy us, but to actually prepare us for the glory that now stands at the door. The silence also from the authorities was very loud. It was very loud. The waiting period was very painful. But as the saying goes, that the darkest hour is just before the dawn. And now I think the dawn of divine manifestation has finally come. Now, let us not forget so quickly where we're coming from. There was a time when every week carried a new rumor. Every meeting ended in so much uncertainties, and every announcement left us in confusion. A lot of people grow weary because of this. Some even gave up. But those who held on in faith alongside you listening to me right now, we are now about to witness that reward of patience. The government's hesitation, the system's bureaucracy, the battles that was fought behind closed doors, they were all part of the process. God allowed it so that no man would take the glory. So every delay was a divine design by God. It wasn't denial. I see it as just preparations for us. Now think about it this way. If the disbursement had happened earlier, I think a lot of people might not have been spiritually, mentally, or even financially ready to manage their blessings. God had to first prepare our hearts to handle what is coming for us. And that's why this victory feels different. It came through prayers, united collective prayers, unity, and unbreakable faith. The recent meeting that took place yesterday night, for once, the atmosphere was filled with peace and divine approval. It wasn't just ordinary. The same people who had been delaying the process, you couldn't imagine, they could no longer resist the move of God. In other words, every voice of opposition that usually come at the nick of time, to blow away the victory, this time around, they couldn't resist the move of God. The voice of opposition was silenced, and favor spoke louder than before on our behalf. So the meeting ended in praise. And that was a prophetic confirmation for us that the heavens have finally come to our aid. The forces that once walked against us and walked against the project have been subdued. And now what remains is just the manifestation. So this week, I see the week as over pregnant for us. And that means that something powerful is about to be birthed. Just as a woman appears in her last trimester, they can no longer hide the signs of labor. So it is with this divine project. The results can no longer be hidden. Every pain, every delay, every wasting hour, and when people have to wait so long, the word, the labor that has now reached us, the labor that is now very due in its season. And I see a lot of questions where people began to ask, why is the date still being kept secret? Yeah, it's actually that's a fair question. I see that, coming in part of the channels I am, it's a fair question, but we also must understand that there is something deep. In a moment like this, I think wisdom is greater than excitement. There are still forces that would do anything, I mean anything, to frustrate this divine breakthrough. If the exact details were made public prematurely, don't forget that there are those who say there is no money anywhere. There are those who are saying that it's a scam, it doesn't work. Now, at moments like this, when everybody's jubilating, they will be silent. They won't pass any comment. They won't say anything. They are waiting for the good news. They are waiting for the bad news to come again. Then you will see them comment. You see them talk. They are always active when something bad happens, or when they hear that it's not going to work again. That is when they are active at night. They are active at darkness. They are active at evil and bad report. In fact, they want it to happen. They want bad news, bad reports to happen. Not because they are rich. People like that, not because they have money, not because they are well-to-do, but they have signed agreement with poverty. They've signed agreement with bad luck. They've signed agreement with evil reports. So they are most agile when things are not going well. But when they hear people are happy, jubilating and celebrating and thinking of good news and things, they are quiet. They won't say anything. Some of them are on this platform. Some of them are on other channels. They are in group, WhatsApp group, Telegram platform. They are everywhere. They'll be looking from afar. They take pleasure in what makes people cry. Don't be such a person. He doesn't benefit you. Doesn't benefit you. Don't change that garment. It is due for change. It's smelling. It's smelling. What pleasure will you take when people are bad, when people are sad, when people are down, emotionally bankrupted, and you are just happy? So it's a fair question. Why is it still being kept a secret? We have seen how information leaks in the past, which gave room to some manipulations and delay. But this time, I think the leadership has chosen to move a bit wiser to secure the process until funds finally reach the beneficiaries. Remember that the children of Israel were told to keep silent as they march around Jericho. The noise came only after the victory was sure. It was after the last walking around Jericho that they were meant to shout. You understand? So the silence now is not a sign of secrecy. I just see it as a sign of strategy. When the right time comes, I'm being positive that maybe within this week, you understand, maybe an official communication or communique would be made available to everyone. Until then, let us keep our hearts very much in thanksgiving mode and not suspicion. As we celebrate this victory, let's also prepare for what comes next. Blessings comes with responsibilities. The money you are about to receive is not just for spending. It is a divine trust. In other words, after disbursement, let us remember to be kind to people. Yes, the same people you see today struggling might be the ones who will pray for you tomorrow. Wealth without kindness is emptiness. Remember how you felt when you were waiting for this blessing. So use that memory to also show compassion to others when you finally receive the fund. Equally, be wise with the funds. Do not waste what God has given you. Plan, invest, make your blessing a tool for growth, not destruction. Build something that's going to last beyond you. It's important. Then stay humble. Money has a spirit. Success often exposes a person's true nature and character. Don't allow pride to destroy what prayer had built over time for you. The same God who lifted you can lift another person. So remain very humble and grateful. Then most importantly, you are to support your community. Remember those who stood with you during these dark days. Your family, the group leaders, the faithful coordinators who endured insults, they endured sleepless nights. Don't forget to give back to the community that walked this path with you. Your pastor, your church, your loved ones, your family members, the community around you, your neighbors. Just remember everyone that God has laid in your heart. Then let's not forget to pray against interference of any kind. Even after a victory, the enemy still tries to fight back. Let us continue in prayer until every beneficiary has received their share. Prayer didn't just bring us this far. Prayer didn't just bring us this far. It will keep us from falling after the blessing arrives to us. So this is not a time to argue or to suspect one another. I put up this call for gratitude and unity. It's the time to unite in thanksgiving to God. Let us all echo the words that we believe that lines have fallen onto us in pleasant places, and yea, we have a goodly heritage. God cannot be defeated in any battle. Yes, he cannot. God has never lost a battle, and he will not start with us. What he has started, he would finish it. So every power that tries to delay this blessing further than now, they will bow to the power of the Almighty God. To every stakeholder who stood firm throughout this entire journey, to every coordinators who faced insults and yet they remained faithful, to every member like you who prayed even when it was hard to pray. You don't know that there are times it's hard to pray. I think it was Don Wayne who sang one song that said, how did he put it? He said, I will sing even in my darkest hour, with the trials and the pain, I will sing. Something like that. That he doesn't even know when to pray. He doesn't know how to pray. He doesn't know what to say again. Lord, it's hard for me to see all the thoughts and plans you have for me. But I will, knowing that you died to set me free. Something like this, something like that. Even in my darkest hour with the trials. So, there are times it's hard to pray. You kneel down, you don't even know what to say anymore. Why? Because you are too overwhelmed. The attacks are too much. You just kneel down there and begin to shed tears. There are moments like that. If you haven't come to that time, I have been there. I know what I'm talking about. Words are too heavy. No prayer point again. You're just looking, God, come and take control. God, just let your will. It is only your will I'm praying for. So there are moments like that. There are moments like that. So to everyone who have prayed when it was hard to pray, when it was hard to believe, you are the true heroes here of this season. Your patience, your tenacity, your ability to hang on has been rewarded. And I think we have now entered into a new chapter. What we once called a dream has now become a divine reality for us. The promise is no longer in the future. It's here with us. However, this is not the end. It's just the beginning of a new responsibility for us. The real test of faith is not just waiting for the blessing, but managing it well when it finally comes. So let's carry ourselves with grace, carry ourselves with wisdom and humility. Let us celebrate quietly, but very meaningfully. And let our actions prove that we are indeed prepared for this moment. No more murmurings, no more doubt, no more fear. The time has come to rejoice and walk in the fulfillment of God's promises. This week, by God's grace, will not pass. It won't pass us by. The heavens have declared it. The earth will manifest it. And we will testify to this time. Congratulations to everyone who believed. The wait is over and the season of joy has come. God cannot be defeated in any battle. I repeat, God cannot be defeated in any battle. And glory be to his name forever. This is Princess Seed. We love you, and always we will do. And we'll stand for the masses. In case you are new, subscribe and hit the bell. And keep the prayers onwardly. God bless you, and do have a nice day.